We're now entering the most dangerous phase in the implosion of one of the largest alleged fraud schemes in America. This isn't another collapsed crypto project or failed investment club. What is happening has the potential to ripple far beyond Goliath Ventures Inc. itself. I believe there's a real possibility this could trigger instability in regional US banks, and I'm certain it will lead to hundreds of millions of losses for investors across Canada, America, and the UAE. Christopher Delgado is a desperate man. After being exposed for what appears to be a $500 million Ponzi-style operation, he'll do anything he can do to avoid the consequences. He is scrambling to pull new money in, trying to keep the illusion alive long enough to convince victims he's a generous, successful businessman, all the while using money that never belonged to him in the first place. His goal is simple: delay, distract, and survive. If you are in Canada, or you know someone who is tied to the scheme through Jason Newton, Mary, Mike, Marcus, James, Han, Oscar, or any other recruiters pushing this opportunity, now is the time to listen carefully. Canadian investors stand to lose far more than investors in America, and the window to act is closing fast. Pay very close attention to what I'm about to share. It may be the difference between losing everything and finally understanding what exactly is going on. I recorded this video the other day, had a few technical difficulties, and I've finally ironed out all my bumps with my sound equipment. And this video is definitely one I want to make sure I deliver correctly. I welcome you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, support me in any which way or form you can, even buy me a cup of coffee is lovely, but at the very least, make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video so we can get the message out to Canadians who are about to lose far more than the Americans who have already lost what we believe $500 million to a Ponzi scheme. Also today, to give you some extras for those people who watched the first video, we've received some historical documents which are quite funny. We've received documents where they claim that they have been approved by the royal family of Dubai, which is a load of bogus bullshit, poos and wheeze, and also a certificate of information where Goliath Ventures would have used these to get some sort of traction. We also found a historical PowerPoint presentation, which makes me laugh. Even the font and reading it and the amateurness of this very document is breathtaking. So we share them when we get them. But these documents are coming from people who were pitched this opportunity and now are realizing that this is a scam, and their friends and their family members that tried pitching them and pushing it down their throat have now strayed from their friendships because these Ponzi schemes are relationship and family destroyers. And that's the honest truth. If you have lost a family member because they didn't invest, you really got to question, is that the right thing? Is money really worth all this hassle? Getting that independent, what do they call it, the passive income? Can you really give someone $100,000 and they drip feed $3,000 back to you a month and you think that is a good investment? What about your principal? We're urging, we're screaming out in loud voices, go to the FBI, tell them that you have been scammed by Goliath Ventures Inc. and demand to get your money back. The people that are getting their money back are threatening Christopher and saying that I'm going to go to the FBI. People are getting their principal out. Forget about your monthly payouts that we're going to show you have been frozen since October. And now they claim that after spending $5 million on a dinner, everything's going to resume as normal on the 15th and 17th of December. Are you kidding me? Demand to get your money back now. Don't wait. Look, we've even got people showing us their keys to their rooms to go to the $5 million dinner. It's not a $5 million dinner. They're going to be giving away awards to all the multi-level marketing scammers who have been promoting this. Some people have been paid and they've been told that they need to use their payment money to pay their downlines to keep the farm happy. The farm people have been told what to do with their money, their dividends, to keep it together while they struggle to get new investors. We believe, my Avenger team believe, that they are now pitching this heavily to Canadians. And Canadian people need to wake up and smell the coffee. They are offering 8% return per month to Canadians. They offered 3% return to Americans if they invested under $500,000. If they invested over $500,000, they were offering 4% return. If you recruited other people into it, people were getting paid 8, 9, 10% return per month. Unheard of. Now, straight out of the gate, we've heard from many sources that Canadian investors have been offered 8% return. 8% return per month if they invest in Goliath Ventures. Why? Well, you don't need a science degree. You don't need a rocket science degree. You need to wake up. It's because they are burning cash. They are running out of money. Unfortunately, we intercepted $250,000 the other day. We closed down their second Bank of America bank account, and we saved $250,000 for a punter. Now, that punter has decided to ghost us and ban us on LinkedIn, where we get a lot of our communication, because they were hoping that Christopher was going to do the right thing and return his money back to him. So he didn't know what side of the fence to be on, working with the 6 different government agencies that are going after Goliath Ventures. Unfortunately, they're not as fast acting as we are. We're here to cause disruption and to create awareness before people realise they've lost their money. Are you really going to go and stay on the bus and go along, get off the bus at a $5 million dinner so you can have a nice meal and sit there and wonder whether 3 days after that dinner finishes, whether you're actually going to get paid your own money back? Wake up, people. Let's get straight into it. This is a blog which we published 4 days ago, and I have done a video on it already. As I said, I had a few technical difficulties, so let's see if we can get it spat out properly today. Right, so first paragraph, it's a bit about me.
I exposed a massive scam that has stolen more than $500 million from investors across Florida, Canada and the UAE. The company I exposed sued me and even tried to bribe me 6 figures after sending me death threats. But on the 3rd of December 2025, the criminal behind the scam sent out a surprising message to his victims.
Yes, so you might take that lightly, but in my job I get death threats, but I had a direct death threat from one of the promoters of Goliath Ventures. I've also been offered $150,000 to take down my videos. They delivered this with what looked like a court bailiff or somebody who was delivering court documents. I went outside to see where the person who had been literally stalking the building that I was in for 10 days before I turned up. I stood in front of the car and I asked him for their name so we could trespass them, and he went to drive over me. This guy was, I don't know what planet he was on. That doesn't happen in my in my city normally. But anyway, I've been offered $150,000, and I've also had another offer which I wouldn't even entertain, or I'm not even going to tell you guys about, but it's utterly ridiculous the length that this customer is going to. Even today, they've lodged more documents in the Orange County court system trying to stop us from doing what we get no reward for doing. So it's just ridiculous how far this company will go. And we are fully exposed. This is my 22nd video. I've done 21 blogs. This is a repeat. And this is what actually is happening. It's breathtaking, but we're doing a good job.
Let's rewind first. On 14/November, investors in Goliath Ventures, many who had mortgaged their homes and sunk their life savings into this scam, failed to get their payments that were due to them, but people who threatened to go to the FBI got some of their money.
Yes, so we've heard mixed reports. Some people are getting paid, some people aren't getting paid. We're finding the people that are associated to the big promoters are getting paid because they don't want to bite the hands that feeds them. It's not rocket science. And also people that are threatening to go to the FBI are also getting paid. So make those threats or go to the FBI and shut this company down quicker. We need your help. Don't pussyfoot around.
On 3/Deck, Delgado sent a bizarre email telling investors they'd soon get their money. I've seen this sort of thing before because I've busted many large Ponzi schemes, and this is something a lot of Ponzi scammers try. They try to buy a few more days because they are like gamblers hoping that one more roll of the dice, they'll be able to win it all back.
Every single Ponzi scheme and scam that we have gone after, they literally try to double down at the end. They think they can run a successful Ponzi scheme and keep this you tell two friends, they tell two friends, they tell two friends. But unfortunately, there's only so many stupid people in the world. So Ponzi schemes never survive. But this is what Christopher's doing right now. He's recruiting Canadians to get the money in so he can keep paying his regular investors. That's what a Ponzi scheme does. They don't have any liquidity pools. They don't. There's no proof of any crypto mining as they claim, and Bitcoin technologies, what the hell that is. The three things they believe are reducing up to 8 to 10% return for people per month. Unheard of, untrue, total Ponzi scheme. You are going to lose your principal if you sit there on your hands. Every time I do a video like this, I get an email from somebody anonymously telling me, thank you very much. I'm trying to get my money out. Can you give me any tips? I can. Go to the FBI or tell Christopher you're going to go to the FBI. He's telling everyone that the money was held back because of an audit. Nowhere in history ever will you find an auditor freezing a company's funds in and out money. I bet the money's still coming in, but nowhere in history has an auditor have the authority to freeze a company's assets. Since November, October, and now December, no money has been paid out. That means the game is up. The Ponzi scheme's over. And now they're claiming that they're going to be holding a $5 million dinner and they're spending money like it's water. It's just ridiculous. Are you going to sit there and let your investment go to waste on a stupid dinner? There's more to come, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't even got started yet. So, investors opened the latest email from Christopher Delgado. They met with a surprising, reassuring message, but it read if you read between the lines, the truth becomes far more worrying. After weeks of silence, vanishing telegram replies, missed payouts, and mounting anxiety, Delgado suddenly resurfaced with an unusual confidence, apologies, with his usual, I have to read this, sorry, I don't know why I bother.
Resurfaced with his usual confidence, apologies, and a promise that on 15/Deck he'd give everyone their money back.
So we've been following all his newsletters. Every single one of them looks like it's the first one out of the box he's written. There's no consistency. There's no corporate structure to his newsletters. Literally looks like he's trying to use ChatGPT with a laptop on his knee while he's at the pub drinking another 2,000 bottles of champagne. It's absolutely ridiculous. My key benefits about this update. The payouts won't go through on the 15th as promised. So you've got 6 more days. So within the next 6 days, theoretically, he's going to catch up on all the missed payments. You're going to have a $5 million dinner. And also, what else is going to happen? Everything's going to be back to normal. So that's what he claims. That's not going to happen. The only people that are going to get paid are the people in the inner circle and the ones that are claiming they're going to whistleblow. Don't trust these liars. I've seen desperate people like this before. Ask for your money back now, today, not on the 15th, today, right now. Threaten to go to the FBI. This is the only hope. If you wait until the 15th of December, Delgado will spend more of your money on pretending to be rich, kind, generous, big-hearted, and using your money to fool you. He's using your own money to fool you into a false sense of security. Now, over the last few days, they've actually been in Mexico. They've gone to Mexico. I've heard that they might have even, now they're meant to be back in Florida, and we're getting reports from all your friends, Chris, are dobbing you in and telling us your whereabouts and what you're up and doing. Wouldn't be surprised if right now I'm on Chris's large screen in his $8.5 million house that he bought with your money. He's bought 5 properties in the last few months. He's already got 2 properties in Dubai, a black Ferrari, spent $4 million on vehicles, and that lavished the girlfriend with $1 million worth of shit with your money over the last 12 months. Also, he can go out nightclubbing and blow up to 6 figures in 1 month. In one night. I must be getting passionate. My door just shut in the office.
Ponzi schemes never reopen and continue business as usual, especially when the FBI, HSI, SEC, CFTC, and the Canadian authorities are now involved.
And I do know that these organisations are busy. I was meant to have a video conference with one of them today, and I got a message saying they've just got busy. So we know they're busy with this and other things, I've no doubt, but it is actually quite cool. It's very telling that Christopher Delgado and Jonathan Manson did not say when the audit report would be shared, despite promising it earlier. Now, the audit report is just a smokescreen. It's a load of poos and wheeze and wheeze. We have been tracking a scam that's worth $1.9 billion, and that's with Chavez Anwar. And you may have seen me on Bloomberg with Sam Lee. And Chavez was demanded by his community to have an audit. The audit was about that thick, and it was a pile of papers. And he was going to be transparent and hand it to his community. Everyone waited for this magical audit to come. When he got the audit, he passed it to his, what we didn't know at the time, to his sister. And his sister gave a summary of the audit. And that was as close as anybody ever got to the audit. Now, if you read Christopher's previous emails like we have, the audit is going to be given to everybody so everybody will know all about it. Now, the first big red light, we've done a video already on the audit, is the fact that no one knows who's doing the audit. If you were a big company with $500 million or more and you were going to get it audited, you would name the auditor, wouldn't you? It's just so stupid. To be frank, I don't think you can trust anything Christopher Delgado, Jonathan Manson, Nick Petrillo, Matt Burks, as we call him, or Jason Newton tells you. They're just full of shit. They're out there saving their own bacon. We have seen Goliath Ventures' Instagram account. All the images have disappeared from there. We have seen charities scrub them from their websites. People are cleaning up as much as they can. They're avoiding association. We heard that they were on the way to London House yesterday. So London House, I'd like to know whether Christopher actually turned up, because theoretically he doesn't have a membership there anymore. It lapsed. These people are pathological liars, and trusting their lies further would be the height of stupidity. So stop listening to these people. Start asking for demands. If there's an audit, who's doing the audit? Show us the audit, and don't make up stupid claims like they are the persons that are freezing the money. We know the money's gone. Your money is already gone. We've shut down 2 banks. One bank, $100 million worth of transactions, and that was with the Bank of America. Even text Chris afterwards saying, "How do you like those apples, sunshine?" Delgado suddenly returns after a month of silence. Yes, before this, crypto died. $380 million and $1 billion in one day crypto loss. The biggest loss ever. A company like Goliath Ventures Inc. is meant to be, crypto mining. It's meant to be liquidity pool trading, like pancake swaps and all this sort of carry on. It's mathematically impossible to make the money he claims with that alone. And also Bitcoin technologies, if you go to the website. Now, when that crypto crashed, we didn't hear from Chris. We had a scheduled meeting with investors that was publicised as a webinar that was going to go on for 45 minutes. It went for 12 or 14 minutes. Can't remember, it was 12 or 14, but not long. And then there was no questions answered, and no one was allowed to answer, and no one could see who else was in the meeting. And that was the truth of the matter. So at the time when crypto is failing miserably and it's plummeting, Christopher doesn't have anything to worry about because he's running a straight Ponzi scheme and scam. He doesn't even deliver on his promises or what he claims. So this audit that's done by a mystery company is we are waiting to be proven wrong. And also we're waiting to see whether everyone gets paid on the 15th or it'll just be his close-knit people. And what are you getting paid for? At the moment, if you listen to Matt Burke, he's telling us that there's 115% of investors' money secured at all times. So if everybody who's invested in Goliath Ventures wants their money out, because remember, they're using your money to generate the returns on your investment, if everybody wants their money out of Goliath Ventures Inc. right now, you can take that money out because Matt Burke, who was their last auditor, said that there is always 115% of investors' money on hand at all times. Now remember, if you do your research and you look up Goliath Ventures Inc. in Florida's database, it doesn't exist. Because on the 3rd of December, they closed down Goliath Ventures Inc. So all those contracts that you have, and we've done videos about this, are all void. They don't exist anymore. Their bookkeeper, who was managing a $500 million company, she actually works for Harry Samuels. Now, if you go to Harry Samuels, if you look up who actually registered Goliath Ventures Inc., or all the other LLC companies that you see that we talk about, they're all registered by a company called Harry Samuels. Nadia Bringus works for Harry Samuels, and she is responsible for handling all the money in Goliath Ventures. Have you ever heard of a company that turns over $500 million having a bookkeeper running the company? Wake up. Time to get your money out, get your principal out. If you're lucky enough to get paid dividend for another month. Right. So anyway, when without warning, Delgado returns with a phrase like, "We're fully back to our regular rhythm, and thank you to all the patience and trust. Every single Ponzi scheme and scam is relying on hope and belief, and they tell you not to listen to the dream stealers." A look at who is really running this operation. Delgado is trying to sound clever, like he belongs to a corporate America. He used to work in In-N-Out Burger, when in reality he was fired from In-N-Out Burger for theft. His team, including Nick Petrillo, who has been cited by the U.S. Department of Justice for fraud. His business partner, his right-hand man, has been, cited for fraud. There's documents. We've done previous videos about this and shown the court documents. It's not exactly a picture of I can't even say it. We'll have to get the word to see it. Let's have a go.
Legitimacy.
Ooh, that's a tricky word for a dyslexic person.
Then you have Jonathan Mason, who is now playing a large role in the Goliath Ventures fraud. Mason has been a career scammer, working for one MLM scam after another. It appears obvious that Mason discovered Goliath Ventures was a Ponzi scheme back in 2024, but still signed on to make money, knowing it was fraudulent.
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of people who are in his circles have also invested. So they get all the friends and the family as they can, and anybody that disagrees with them gets a real hard time and basically excluded from family activities, let's just say that. So it is actually disgusting to see how these people manipulate people. We've even heard of family members 70, 80 years of age being forced to invest in Goliath, and knowing that the people who are asking know how risky investment this is.
When Chris Delgado bought the $8 million mansion in Windermere, Orlando, he wanted to throw a party the day he got the keys, but he had only paid about $6 million of the money owed. The owners, old money, not impressed by Delgado's nouveau rich antics, told him he could not throw the party.
Yeah, so then he managed to wire $2 million, we heard. So let's hear that.
Delgado was so enraged that he wired $2 million within hours just to save face. This story reveals a lot about Delgado's insecurities. He was adopted, grew up with deep issues around status and identity, and one of his biggest triggers is losing face. My exposing his scam triggered exactly that.
Yeah, so 5 years ago, Chris had nothing. He was nobody. He's still nobody, but he might think he's somebody now. As a result, he is thrown everything into raising money for Canadian victims. So if you are in Canada and you know any of these people and you want to provide us intel, you can go to my website, click on the Contact Us button. There is a contact form. You can put anonymous@gmail.com if you want to remain anonymous. Any documents, you can attach them. We received these 6 documents from that very form. These are historical forms, and theoretically these are good for us to go through and scrutinise. We even received a PDF just today, which is fantastic. And obviously photos like this we get off Instagram and the like, because we are open source intelligent investors. So I think I got most of those, didn't I?
Using criminals like Jason Newton, Oscar Delgado, James Han, Michael Chmielewski, Michael Zernicki, Mariusz Chmielewski, Vince Gratta, Mike Hogan, Anthony Medeiros, Marty Berthelmer, and Sam Raheen, I believe. But none of this will work. Goliath Ventures will fail, and their actions are only creating more victims.
Yeah, so our biggest fear, and we'll be honest, is if they start getting traction in Canada, this will burn them some more time because it's a Ponzi scheme. They need to keep the investors happy by paying out the dividends. Now, if all the investors were wise and asked for their money back, you'd help collapse this Ponzi scheme a lot faster. But by letting them drip feed your own money, which there isn't much left of, back to you slowly, it's just going to make this rocket burn very slowly. Here's a photo of Eric Trump, and here's a photo of our friend Jonathan. Jonathan, what have we got? Where's your name? Oh, we're forgetting your name already. Oh, Jonathan Masons. I wonder if that's in. I don't know who the lady is, but she's somebody there. But here we are, Eric Trump, Jonathan Mason. Oh, I should have gone down a bit. He's a chief at Goliath Ventures. And this photo was taken at the Patrick Ben David's Vault 2025 conference, where Christopher paid $1 million to have naming rights, and he stood up on the stage and told everyone that he wants everyone to have a passive income, and he's been interested about Bitcoin for a long time, and he does pancake swaps, and that's how he makes all the money for his investment private portfolio fund. Unreal. Delgado quietly rewrites history about missing payouts in his new email. So this ain't so new now. As I said, this is the 9th when I recorded this. This was on the 3rd. So let's have a look and see this letter. So every time we receive a new letter, the letter actually is in a different format. Now, I know that might be small, but that's what we have our eye on. We're always looking for inconsistencies. Last time they used Roman Times Roman font. This time they're using Arial. This time the spacing is correct. He must have listened to us, but sometimes not. And this is a letter from a company that's theoretically looking after $500 million. And this is a one-pager about why they haven't paid anyone for what now seems like 2.5 months. And they do this because they want to drip feed the exit strategy out to people so they get used to it. But let's have a listen to this letter, and then we'll go through it with fine-tooth comb.
Dear partners, first, the headline you've been waiting for. We're fully back to our regular rhythm, and December 15th to 18th cycle will include everything owed to you. October catch-ups, November payouts, and everything moving forward on the normal schedule. We're genuinely sorry that a portion of the October distribution didn't land in November as it should have. You count on us to be predictable and on time, and we fell short of that standard last month. Thank you for the patience and trust you showed while we worked through it. Here's exactly where things stand and what happens next.
But this is crazy, because all these payouts were stopped, theoretically, in their own words, because of an audit. In this first paragraph, they mention nothing about the audit. In fact, they said they fell short. How ridiculous is this letter to investors? If you've invested, like lots of people, $500,000 into this, well, not $500,000, how would you feel about reading this one-pager telling them that we fell short last month and the month before, because they said October and November? So what's going on? Here's exactly where things stand and what happens next. The delay, this is Christopher's words, the delay was caused by additional compliance and forensic accounting requirements that had to be completed before we could release the funds. Now, that is total bullshit. They have a bookkeeper who's in charge of running the finances of the company. Her name is Nadia Bringus, who shut down her company on the 2nd of September 2025 and reopened it in Wyoming. Now, do your research about companies that open in Wyoming. It's a joke. The fact that a bookkeeper is now meant to be the accountant. It doesn't say her name here, but we have seen them in their own corporate videos talking about how she's responsible for the finances for the company. And all of a sudden, what accounting firm are they using? This is just bullshit. All required documents have now been submitted to the author, and the review is in its final stage. Now, Christopher fluttered off to Dubai. Wouldn't you think at a most critical time when your company is going through ceasing all payments and hopefully all deposits, that he would stay in the offices? And let me ask you another question. Whereabouts are the offices? Are they in Dubai? Perhaps this company is set up in Dubai and Christopher's just a puppet. And it didn't matter that he shut down his company in Florida on the 3rd of September 2025. Maybe, but this isn't about a company in Dubai. This isn't about the prince's stamp of approval. These documents that they've been using mean nothing. This is just bullshit. Now, I went through here, I did actually use ChatGPT, and I asked exactly what these documents were, and they said it's just a load of poos and wees. I'm not even going to entertain it through you, but maybe we might do that in a future video. As a result, we're back to normal schedule starting this month. When? On the 12th and the 14th, when they normally do their payouts? No, after the dinner, because the dinner's on the 12th. So let's keep everyone happy until the dinner's over, and then we'll tell them we're going to pay out after the dinner. So are you guys off to the dinner? Are you looking forward to it? Have you got your room keys? Oh, look, this is going to be good. Anyway, what does this mean for December's 15th and 18th cycle? Any outstanding October amounts will be paid in this cycle. Now, we've been told from people who are in the top of the pyramid that they need to use their payments to pay their downlines. That's what we've been told. Whether it's true, I don't know. But that's what we've been told. They've been instructed what to do. Even though they've been yelling at Christopher to say, pay us or else. I don't know what you're going to do because it's hard enough to stop these guys. I can tell you that now. And then that money was meant to be paid to their downline to keep the farm happy. Calm the farm is the message that's going out here. Calm the farm. We'll go to Canada and we'll tell the Canadian people we'll use the same formula. We'll get involved in all the charities. We'll start schmoozing with people that we know, like Patrick Ben David, what's his name? Something Jerome, whatever his name is, Cal Jerome. I can't say his name, but never mind, you'll get it. And then we'll give them 8%, and they'll take it, and then we'll have cash. And then we can pay our investors, but don't flinch. Don't flinch. That's what we'll be telling people. If you selected payouts for both October and November, because remember, they don't want you to take the money out. It's only the doubters, only the disbelievers that are taking the money out. Other people believe the process. Other people believe that a guy that used to work in In-N-Out Burger is telling the truth. A guy that had nothing 5 years ago is telling the truth. And he's telling everyone to keep your money on the platforms and don't take out your dividends. That's what he's telling people, because as soon as he wants you to compound. So if you got $100,000 and you compounded it for 12 months, you're going to get $60,000 return. $100,000 and now you have $160,000. You put that together for year 2, what's going to happen? It's a Ponzi scheme. Unless they keep recruiting, you're not going to get it back. But in the meantime, we have a few months to keep paying you dividends using your own money to keep the illusion alive. From December onward, all distributors, principal withdrawals and terminations will resume the regular 15th to 18th cadence with no further interruptions expected. So what's going to happen? Exit strategy. They're going to come up with something, aren't they? We've used this period to tighten processes. Where's the money bleeding? the documentation so this doesn't happen again. I thought the audit was the reason this happened. Thank you for your patience. It's not taken for granted. Oh, fantastic. If you have any questions about your Pacific amounts, payout, elections, or anything else, please reach out to support or reply to me directly. Oh, it's just so easy. Imagine, apparently, there's meant to be 1,500 people that have invested in Goliath Ventures. 1,500 people are right there on the computer, right back to Chris right now. What do you think he's going to be doing? Kissing the girlfriend, drinking some champagne, flying off to Dubai, coming back for a dinner? He's too busy to answer your emails. You're not going to get any response. We have heard people are getting crickets from response. This is delay tactics. This is exit strategy. Let's continue with the blog. So what does it really mean for investors? Let's get into it.
What he really means is that investors who did not threaten to call the police didn't get their payouts, and investors who are not in romantic relationships with Delgado and his inner circle didn't get their payouts either.
Yes, so it's only people, the oily, was it the squeaky door gets the oil? It's exactly the same.
This new explanation replaces his earlier claims, quietly and without acknowledgement.
The truth that changes, oh, what's that word?
A truth that changes retroactively is almost always a lie that has caught up with itself.
Now, I didn't actually notice this, but I reckon I don't think I can search. Can I search? Hold it. Audit. Oh, no, I can't spell audit. Audit. No, I'm just wondering if the word audit was actually mentioned. Hey, Jelly Snack, nice to see you here. I was just wondering if the word audit was actually mentioned once in that letter. I don't think it would be, but it should be because that's the whole reason all the money stopped, right? The audit that has mysteriously... Oh, well, there we go. Maybe I've done this before. Let's have a listen.
The audit that has mysteriously vanished. What about the audit, Chris? When will partners see the results? In your last message you claimed, this rigorous independent review will culminate in a comprehensive certified report shared with all participants.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, there you go. I stand corrected. Everybody's going to get a copy of the audit. Oh, peace of mind. Bet ya nothing happens. This ain't my first rodeo. I've never seen an audit from a company who claims they're going to do one. Never. Not once. Now, I'm looking at over 200 Ponzi schemes and scams at the moment. There was an audit that I looked at that was done before people got all upset. And what they'd done is they had audited a company, but they only audited the deposit part of the contract. And the CERTIC report came back and said that they had 80% correct and that still had major red flags. And I remember this audit because it was a crack up, because everyone's going, the company's been audited. And I go, no, the deposits part of this company has been audited. And they still had problems. It's just absolute bullshit. So if you get a copy of this audit and we know who it's from. Now, if you ring up Chris is telling people the name of the audit company. We have contacted the audit company that he claims they don't know this mofo from a bar of soap. It's total bullshit. If you're an investor, you need to push Chris. You need to ask the name of the auditor. You need him to verify that he has an auditor and who it is and when it will be done. Otherwise, you know, what other things do you need? The company's been shut down in Florida on the 3rd of September. Come on, guys. All your contracts, did you re-sign them up when you reopened the company up in Wyoming? Did you? Well, your contract's void, isn't it? And, you know, where does it stop? And how can somebody who claims 2 of his companies have been listed in the share, what do they call it? Listed on, well, 2 of his companies have been listed in the share market. When he got all the money, he invested in his own company. Did you know that Christopher has listed 2 companies publicly? I didn't. Chris didn't. No, it's just bullshit. He just says on a video, he's sitting there saying that 2 of his company were publicly listed and he got money and invested his own money in his company. So now he only lets people in his friends and family circle invest in his own company who's making all these returns. And also, let's not get me started on my liquidity partners. My liquidity partners is a mirror image of Goliath Ventures Inc. And we've got photos on the website, which I have to show you now. I've said this. So if you go to deheck.com, you'll see I've actually added a whole page dedicated to Goliath Ventures. In here, you can see all the 21 blogs. But if you come down here, you can see people like Mr. Moon associating with them. You can see Kash Patel, the FBI director. You can see famous rappers and losers who like to spin bottles on their heads, spending all your money. You can see what they're spending your money on. But you come down here enough. Now, this is the crew for my liquidity partners. This guy with the glasses next door to Chris, he's been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Nick was part of a food company. He was the manager. He's also been sued for, well, the company he was in charge of, I think they got sued for $2 million for using false advertising claims. We've done blogs on it. You can go there and you can read those documents if you like. But that there is the beginning of my liquidity partners. It's already been through SEC. They've already been ordered to do jail time. Chris, I don't know how he got away with it. I don't know what the story is there. But 20 days after they registered the domain name myliquiditypartners.com, they registered Goliath Ventures Inc.com. 20 days apart. This was 2.5, 3 years ago. And now, honestly, it's exactly the same mirror Ponzi scheme. They're using exactly the same techniques. Even this guy here, Romy, R-O-M-I. He hangs around with the Alexander brothers. The Alexander brothers have had 30 women come forth saying they were drugged and raped. And these guys are now on bail. Their father had put up his mansion, and I think there's 3 Alexander brothers. I'm not exactly sure, but we've got a photo of that guy arm in arm with the Alexander brothers. And I've contacted him and asked him what his involvement is with Christopher. He said he went to Mykonos because there was a spare seat in the airplane. And now we've had reports coming out about Chris's girlfriend as well, which, we can't say what we've heard because we can't verify it. We have reached out to her. We have reached out to her mother. We have reached out to her sister. We get crickets, but hopefully something's happening. But what I'm getting at is these people are associating with criminal cartel networks. About 5 weeks ago, Christopher was on the boat with Andrew Tate and Tomo. And we've done videos about this. These guys are hanging around the worst of the worst. And here they are. Now, if Chris is flying anywhere, you ring him up and ask him if he's got a spare seat, and you hang out with him. Would you hang out with a guy that's got so much noise around him, and who used to work at a hamburger joint? No offense to anyone who works at hamburger joints, just saying. But anyway, let me carry on. So, ignoring the frozen bank account. Perhaps the most... So, this is part of my meeting I was meant to have today with, let's just say, the government authorities. They want to know how we managed to shut down a bank account of Chris's.
Ignoring the frozen bank account, perhaps the most important omission is the reality that a key Bank of America account used by Goliath Ventures has been frozen. I can state confidently that this account transacted over $100 million, and this wasn't even their primary bank.
Yeah, so this is the second Bank of America account that's been frozen, and we were directly responsible for the second one. And there was when we contacted the bank, they come back and went, what the F? We was quite surprised. They literally used our blog to verify the facts that we were claiming, and then they shut the bank account down. Hopefully, if the guy that's deposited $250,000 who's still waiting for Christopher to return his money may be safe inside the bank when they froze that account. And if you looked at the picture of that we had here today, you will see that there is a reason. There is a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can find that's not the right one. We did have a real hard job trying to get the right photos for today. But see the bank accounts frozen, safe? Well, that's why, because we have shut down one of the accounts. And that's probably one of the biggest things I've done as a scam buster, as an investigative journalist, is actually managed to tell a bank about criminal activity going on and actually have the account frozen. It is absolutely amazing. So who's working those banks? Who's taking those big chunks of money? And why are they not getting done for AMA laws? Is there insiders in those banks? There's a lot of backhanders going on here. Now, we want to find those people, so we need whistleblowers to tell us more information. Thank you to everyone that comes forward, but come on, who works in those banks? Who's handling their accounts? Let us know.
Yet Delgado still promises payouts will be completed by the 15th to the 18th of December. This contradiction is impossible to reconcile unless the plan is simply to delay panic, buy time, and hope their Canadian recruiters bring in enough fresh money to cover distributions. I was reading about another Ponzi scheme recently, and this quote jumped out at me about how victims involved in scams like this are peer pressured into acting like sheep.
Well, thank you very much, Jelly Snack. My donations come from my own Avengers. Thank you so much. That's very kind. When somebody donates using Ko-Fi, which is on my website, that link there, you click on Support Me, you click on that button there, and you give me a donation, it all pops up on the screen automatically. It's quite clever how it does that. It always gives me a bit of a fright. I think somebody's hacking me or something. But that was really nice. Thank you very much. That must be my Christmas present, is it? Ho, ho, ho. Let's get into it.
Not only are people not inclined to check, but anyone who does start checking up starts finding themselves under strong social and psychological pressure not to do so.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you'd think that if you were playing a game, any strategy game, and you wanted to take a moment to read the rule book, you think that would actually be quite a good thing to do, wouldn't it? But not when it comes to Ponzi schemes and scams. Every time you question anybody, you get told to shut up. I was in a religious cult. Same thing happened. Anytime I questioned the activities or the scripture or the Bible, I'd be hauled up by the elders and I'd be told this is how it is and you need to have faith and the light will get brighter at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much, Jelly Snack. That's really, really kind. I really mean that. I don't expect that, obviously, from all the hard work that you do and the scams that we bust. We just had a bit of a fun moment before we do it. We're here to cause disruption. We can't stop everybody, but we can cause major disruption. We can also create a lot of awareness. And it does come at a toll. We get up, I normally wake up at 7 o'clock when my message is going ping, bing, 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 bing. And I go through, I get, yesterday I got 7 new Zoom links that I need to monitor. We currently have over 220 Zoom links where people are running meetings promoting these Ponzi schemes and scams. So one that I've been doing about Christopher is a deep dive. We've now done 21 blogs about this and it is tiring. And also we've had the threat of lawsuits and the like. We've been offered $150,000, as I've said previously. We've had a death threat, which is fantastic. Thanks very much. And it's just business as normal. But the small Ponzi schemes and scams, we have a bit of fun doing those. And a lot of my Avengers provide me a lot of intel, information, and we put together as much as we can. So if you go back to the blog after this one that you're watching right now, so if you look into the description of this video, you can find the blog that I'm doing a voiceover on. And the newest blog that I did, I spent about 3 or 4 hours researching about this gold scam. They've even gone to a mine that isn't even owned by anyone they claiming that there's $12 billion worth of dirt that's been thrown up in the air that they can still mine gold out of it, just so they can pump and dump a token. It's just absolutely incredible. But anyway, getting off the target, but just so you know a little bit more about myself and my Avengers. So the James Bond Casino, I can't get that word, Royval Christmas party, allegedly, and we can't back this up, they reckon $5 million is going to be spent at this dinner. Are you going? Do you know why it's $5 million? Because they're giving away awards to their top wage earners. The people that have got the eyes that don't blink, look in the eye and tell you it's a sure thing, they are getting commission. They are getting rewarded for pushing this Ponzi scheme down investors' throats. Mum and dad investors, firemen who have invested, they have mortgaged their house. Firemen who don't earn much have mortgaged their houses to invest in Goliath Ventures. Some of these firemen have invested like $50,000 and then been told that they are not allowed to stay in the company unless they bump that investment up to $100,000. These people are about to lose big time. This company, they've blown the money. The only way this company is going to survive is if they go into Canada and recruit it to people, offering them 8% return. That means time and time again, this is not going to last. It's not going to last, guys. Demand to get your money back. If you get your money back, a lot of people that we have told to get your money back have got all their money back. One guy is now getting lawsuits, threats, because he got his money back. He actually made $2.8 million, and he invested $15 million in Goliath Ventures and got 2.8 back, so the story goes. Now, he's now getting legal threats from Goliath Ventures because they believe, I've read the documents, that he's feeding me information, which is a load of bullshit. They have sent people around asking who is funding me. No one's funding me. I'm self-funded. No one is funding me to do what I do. No one's bankrolling me as a YouTuber. I get $330. I think I got $360 last month from my YouTube channel. I get about 300 or 400 donations a month, in dollars and donations a month. So maybe $600 or $700 a month. I spend 70 to 80 hours, and I take a hell of a lot of risks doing what I do here because these guys have more money than a bull can shit, and they come after me with lawyers. I've had 5 lawsuits this year. 5 lawsuits this year. Why do I do it? For the money? Work it out.
Not much shocks me these days, but watching investors obsess over the upcoming Goliath Ventures Christmas party while being robbed of millions has been astonishing.
Yeah.
I don't think the party will happen, and if it does, I'll admit that I was wrong. But I am certain the company will not pay everyone on 15/deck as promised.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. So if anybody does get paid, and you want to tell me, please do. But if anyone doesn't get paid, go to the FBI. Threaten to go to the FBI if you haven't been paid in November or October, and now they're stringing you along to the 15th or 18th of December. And in between that, they're going to blow another $5 million on a dinner in Wyoming. And hope the caterers are still going to be doing the catering. Because we did tell them that a few people had really strange dietary requirements.
This event is scheduled days before the promised payout cycle, while investors are owed 2 months of payments, while an audit supposedly paused all business functions. Delgado can spend $5 million of your money on a party, but can't pay you back.
How does that work? How can he do that?
Events cost money. Events require planning. This timing raises unavoidable questions.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about you, but the last time I held a $5 million dinner, just saying, if that is the figure, I had to pay people before that dinner happened. So right now, I believe they would have paid in full. I doubt very much that they would be hanging back. And where did the money come from to pay for the dinner in advance? If you believe the audit story, work it out yourself.
Why celebrate in a liquidity crisis? Why allocate resources to an event when payouts are overdue? Is the purpose to calm investors before postponing payouts again? Why throw a party when October distributions are still missing?
So, last event, which we couldn't verify was true and genuine, we were told that Christopher was meeting with his inner circle to discuss business. When he got to the business event, he told everyone he's not going to discuss business today. He just wants to drink piss with them and open bottles of champagne and enjoy his fellowship instead. That's what we got told. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but that's what we get told. So what the hell? So everyone at the moment is shaking at their knees because of Danny DeHeck and the Avengers have exposed this scam to the inch of its life. We've got 6 different government agencies involved exposing these individuals. And now he gets together with his inner circle, what do they call it, a leaders meeting, and he tells them he's not going to discuss business. He's just going to get on the piss. Oh, my God. Oh, I bet you love that meeting.
Delgado's background running events for Grant Cardone explains a lot. He thinks a big show will convince people everything is fine, but Ponzi schemes don't survive on showmanship. Once confidence is broken, it's over. One investor said it best: if you can host a Casino Royale party, you can pay what you owe.
Calm the farm, exactly right. That's exactly right, Jelly Snack. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
The optics are deeply inconsistent with their supposed audit delays. Goliath Ventures is trying to play on the hopes of victims whose lives they've already shattered. They're told, just trust us until 15/deck. But no matter how much trust you give them, the money is not there. Capital A.
Yeah, it's not there. Capital A. Oh, that was interesting. So let's just think about this. You walk into the bank and you do an investment. Look, oh, no, you don't do that to your bank these days. You don't invest with your bank because your bank does not give you such good returns, right? So you've got to go look elsewhere. And everybody I talk to says to me, the banks don't pay me interest. The bank doesn't give me the interest I want. And I go, well, welcome to the real world. Use your money, find a product or a service, build a business up, get a clientele, find a product, sell it for a profit. The profit that you make, you put it in the bank, and that's how you get your money back. But don't give away your principal to a scammer and let him drip feed your principal back to you to give you the illusion that you're getting a good investment. Because that's what happens. There's no such thing as 3% return on your money anywhere in the world unless you're gambling and you'll lose it the same way, like he's promising. And you imagine going to the bank and they just tell you to trust us. I would not trust my bank as far as you can kick them. So why would you trust a company that also, the kicker and the most ridiculous thing about this whole scam, it's insured. And if you read I've forgotten, 14 or 27 page contract, which I think I actually had a copy of that here along the way. I think I did actually, we have actually got a copy of the contract, which we will bring up because it was actually quite interesting because we've got a new copy of the contract. Let's see if I can open it up, if I can find it. 1 minute, please, caller. 1 minute, please, caller. Where's my contract gone? That one, here it is. Would you believe? So let me get this right. I'm just opening up our contract. Okay, so this contract, I don't know whether this is an old contract, but this is another. I'm not saying that word right, am I? Another contract? Another? Okay, so we're going to switch screens. I'll just make sure I've got nothing in here that's going to incriminate anybody. It's an unsigned contract. Now, the really interesting thing about this contract is we believe that this particular copy of the contract that we received is from someone in Chris's inner circle. And why is that? Because it's not a PDF. This is a Word document. Now, this Word document here goes through every aspect. And this is one of many, contracts. Now, if you go through this whole contract, and I don't know how many pages it is, I've lost count, but I have a feeling it was like, a massive contract. I thought 27, what's that doing up there? I thought that it was 27 pages. It might be 14 pages. Oh, my goodness. What happened here? Stop streaming. Continue without Rumble. Rumble, stop streaming. What happened there? Anyway, so what I'm getting at is if you go through this whole contract, it doesn't mention anything about the insurance. And last time I looked at one of their contracts, when you got to the very last page, and it might not be true, there was a paragraph in here that stated that if you wanted to know about the insurance, that you had to email them and ask them directly. Instead of the insurance policy, which was we're going to give you 3% return per annum, per month, I still can't get rid of that, per month, in the contract that you signed with the agreement, if you wanted to know about the insurance, you had to email them. Now, I don't know where that was dispute resolution, but I believe that this might be a slightly older contract. This is one probably going back to the probably 2023, I believe. So let's have a look. No partner stability notices, agreements and other dealings, and you can pause this contract and read it anytime you like. I'll just go through the whole lot so you can document it. Transfer of account, effective of terminate. Upon termination, the partner account shall determine and terminate, and all funds which the partner is entitled to as per this agreement shall be transferred to him. Oh, that sounds good. So there you go. You can get your money out. Just go do that. Now let's have a look and see if term and termination agreement, is that a spelling mistake or is that just because I'm a New Zealander? Willful. Has willful got 2 L's or one? Okay, that's what happens if you don't use ChatGPT. Good stuff though. Let's carry on. Let's see if there's anything to do liabilities. Partner shall identify the company against all costs, loss of damages, claims, proceedings, breach of provisions. So you can have a good field day. Warranties. Each party warrants that it has full power and authority to carry out the actions contemplated under the agreement. Boy, these contracts are so complicated. That's why you have to get a lawyer or a registered financial advisor to have a look at this. Wonder if you took this to a registered financial advisor, whether he would say, this is great, sign up straight away. This is amazing. Intellectual property. I love that one. What else have we got here? Are we looking for I'd love to see the insurance, but this was the whole kicker. This investment was insured. But where's the insurance? Withdrawing. You need to email help. That's the one you need. help@goliathventuresinc.com if you're looking to withdraw. Oh, I'm sorry for laughing. But one thing we did like about this is we can track the crypto wallet addresses. So these wallet addresses are everything. Now, you'll be able to take a screenshot of those and go and check those wallet addresses for a company that has been doing liquidity trading, crypto mining, and blockchain technologies. These wallet addresses that you see here, I'll make it so you can click that one as well, so we'll show you where all the money is. Now, we in My Ventures, and we're a pretty clever team, have only tracked $2.5 million worth of transactions. A company, we know that one investor has put $15 million in. One investor. Now, why is there no smart contracts? Why is there no trading smart, why is there no trading? Why is there and even look, here's the JP Morgan Chase Bank. Isn't this incredible? So it's just, if you go through this whole contract, you're more than welcome to email me and I'm happy to forward you this contract. I know this is probably the contract that a lot of people have signed, and that's what you want to have a look at if you are brave enough. So a warning you cannot afford to ignore. If you are an investor in this scam, understand this clearly. Goliath Ventures behaves like a doomsday cult. The leader is asking you to believe you just for a little longer while he spends your money that you have saved and slaved for. Stop trusting Goliath Ventures lies. Get in touch with me. Contact the FBI or the RCMP. I hate acronyms. I don't even know what that word is. If you don't know how to do that, reach out and I'll help you get in contact with the law enforcement. So here's my WhatsApp group. Please do join that, but feel free to set up your own and add investors who feel this is a scam. So click on that link, join my my group. And if you haven't been keeping up with current events, pal, I started investigating this probably 3-4 months ago. We've done 21 blogs. This is the history, and I'm just going to rattle off them. We looked at their contracts that we just had a quick look at now, and we found that their contracts will be the sword that they fall on. We found so many inconsistencies and so many things that no one in their right mind should have signed. So sorry if you have done that. They say that they're compliant. That was an illusion. Matt Burks, we showed you a video, absolutely breathtaking video. Only 39 people had ever viewed it. We managed to find it on, what's that program called? Not YouTube. There's another one out there. I've forgotten. But anyway, it's we found this video and then we grabbed that video. They have done copyright strikes to remove that video without luck. Anyway, we've still got their smear campaign. They said that we were trying to run a smear campaign and we were jealous. Why the heck would we be jealous of this? Bookkeeping, Vanishing Act, that was where Nadia Bringus, we thought she disappeared because she had closed her company down. Why would a company close themselves down? On the 2nd of September, she closed her company down. On the 3rd of September, she reopened the company in Wyoming. Fake audits. Yes, they claim that their last audit was done by an independent auditor, Matt Burke. Matt Burke was working for Black Block, myblackblock.com, or if you go to mywealthmd.com, you'll find two companies that were associated with Goliath Ventures. Matt Burke was the director of one, the owner of half of one, and he was meant to be independent. Black Block now claims that they have merged in with Goliath, and there was another guy called Piers Curry. And Piers Curry was also in the video that we originally went over, and he now is meant to be the controller of what do they call it? My Wealth MD, which stands for My Wealth Doctors, and they were going after pension funds. And he was meant to. He's still. I don't know if you've got your house yet, Piers Curry, because you invested everything into Goliath Ventures, and then you're about to buy a new house, and you were going to test the withdrawal. Good luck with that. Anyway, have you heard of clawbacks? Good luck with that, eh? Anyway, so we found about the fake audit. The last audit that they claimed they did was fake because they claimed it was independent, and the guy that did it was Matt Burke, and he's a parish. And we found the church where he was a parish, and they've scrubbed him off the website. Missing FinCEN registration, which means they don't have any legal documents to prove that they can handle money. So how do they handle the AMA laws? We're talking about the people that handle the money don't have any licenses to handle money. You need that in America for AMA laws, KYCs, whatever it is. That is what they failed to do. In fact, when we watched them in their meetings, they were telling every leader or promoter or salesman that they needed to set up their own independent company within the umbrella of Goliath Ventures. Absolutely sick. Collapse and clawback. So you might have thought you made more money. Now, I talked about one individual who deposited $15 million, nice as pie person. Apparently, never spoke to them before, but they had actually got $2.8 million out of a $15 million investment. So in total, they got $17.8 million out. And they know that $2.8 million will be clawed back. So they are waiting to give that back when they get contacted. If you have invested and you've made more money than you've put in, then you will get that clawed back. And that's what that whole blog was about. Securities questions. Are the contracts that you have void? They are. That's in short, because the company's been shut down and you're still receiving funds from a company that's been closed down? Or have you signed up with a new company called Goliath Ventures Inc. in Wyoming? What have you done? Because they've shut down the company that issued the invoices, the contracts, which means that is void. So then we opened up and we did number 9 was all about looking at what a real company would look like. That may be of interest to. It looks nothing like Goliath Ventures. So what about the people that are receiving the stolen money? All the parties, all the people that are the venues in Wyoming that are taking the large payments, all the people that are getting their cars specced out by these groomers, all the people that are benefiting from the money that Christopher's spending like it's water. What's going to happen to them? FBI Director Kash Patel, Ron DeSantis, and Andrew Tate. Who would think you would see photos with Christopher shaking hands and hugging and kissing and all that sort of stuff with all those names all in 1 month? That's what literally happens. So do you think you're going to get a pardon when it all goes pear-shaped? Well, who knows? But let's see if we can get you in prison first, eh? Just got sued for telling the truth. Yes, they come after a New Zealand journalist. That's what I am. And they've decided to shut me up. They'll offer me $150,000 because the death threat didn't work. I'm still here. And now we have documented proof that Goliath Ventures have actually offered me $150,000. And also we have now got authorities here in New Zealand engaged with this Ponzi scheme. So every action has a reaction, and that's something I'm really pleased about. 3 copyright strikes from Goliath Ventures. I've had 8 copyright strikes, along with 2 months worth of denial server attacks trying to take down my website. My website's backed by, what do they call that thing? Google Project Shield. They look after my website and keep it stable. We had 2 months of denial server attacks when I was covering this. They've given up at the moment and they're not doing it anymore. That's a bit distracting up there. Get rid of that. So the other thing is they have also, as I said, 3 copyright strikes. I've had 8 in total. and they are trying to take videos like this off the internet. Unreal. And they're not even their videos. I haven't copied anyone's copyright, but they put a fake copyright strike in with Google. Google does prosecute people who do that. We have had 3 examples of that happening in the past. So crypto crash, $280 billion lost in how long? Oh, 1 day. Biggest crash ever. Chris didn't even flinch. Why? Because he's not running a crypto investment. He's running a Ponzi scheme. The money's not coming from crypto investments. There's no proof of that at all. So we filed a 22-page motion to dismiss. Now, even today, if you go into the court filings, you will see that Chris's lawyers are still trying to stop this motion to dismiss that we have put in. They're coming up with everything they can think of because they have no authority over me. I don't have any business dealings in Florida, have nothing to do with Florida. I'm a YouTuber based in New Zealand, expose scams from around the world. Everyone knows that's what I'm doing. This is journalism 101, and if you think you can lodge a court case against a New Zealander in Florida, then you're absolutely smoking the wrong stuff, cowboys. Anyway, so we filed a 22-page motion to dismiss, more of a science experiment, to be honest, but this is ridiculous that they're even trying to sue somebody for speaking the truth. Didn't escape the scam, you benefited from it. So we had an unusual one where somebody was ringing us up basically asking if it's really happening, if it's really a scam. And that was actually quite neat. But this person was an investor of $500,000 and they got their money out. First of all, they thanked us. And next thing is they were accusing us of being the scammer. Have to read that blog. Banking breakdown. They switched what's that one there? Banking crisis going on promotion. What was that one about? Banking switch. Oh, that's right. I can always forget that. So as you saw in the agreement over here, the money was with they were with JB Morgan. So let's have a look at this. So this is really interesting, right? So they had to switch banks because JB Morgan, is that there? Oh, there it is. JB Morgan Chase was the bank that was taking the money for Goliath Ventures. So they switched to the second biggest bank in America, the Bank of America. And that bank, just recently, they had to change banks again because would you believe the Bank of America can't sustain the growth of Goliath Ventures? That's what they said in their newsletter. So go read that one if you want to read that load of bullshit. Director of Administration at Goliath Ventures, so Stephen Davis. Now, I've got to go in here because one of my Avengers said that this was the best photo I've ever done of myself using ChatGPT. But if you look here, you can see Pixel and myself sitting on Steve Davis' car. Now, why is Steve Davis a big part of this? Well, he is a hero. He's been a firefighter, I think, for 2 decades. I thought 12 days, but I think it's 2 decades. 12 years was actually Tomo, who used to be a policeman, because they go after the tradies. They go after the people who have funds, what do they call it, retirement funds. So Steve Davis, a hero in the fire brigade, has now become a guy that will scam people out of their money. So he's built up all these friendships and relationships, and he's using that to get money off of people. He wrote himself, would you believe, a sponsored article. Now, last time I clicked on this article had been removed. And it's back. It's back. Well, there you go. Last time it got removed. We reported this article, but now what I need to do is get somebody to go through it and see whether he's removed all the false claims that he was making in this article, because I believe it's been edited. I do not believe. So I'm amazed that that was back. But this very article was removed and now it's back. Now, if you go and see my first video I did about this blog, you will see that was the case. Interesting. So I've got to go have a read of this. I want to see what he says about, because this is actually really interesting.
Before his exit from the firehouse, Davis had also served in the U.S. Army as a mechanized infantry medic and flight medic. Those years, stationed in Germany and at the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, reinforced habits of preparation and the ability to make quick, consequential decisions. His subsequent firefighting career brought similar demands, managing teams in crisis and
Here we go. So I want to see what they say about Goliath Ventures in this article to see whether he's edited it. I don't know if he has. I'm just having a guess.
Davis now balances multiple roles, leading the Raising Alphas project, managing Choice Press, serving as Director of Administration for Goliath Ventures, and serving as coach with Central United Soccer Club while overseeing a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. He is also active with several philanthropies, including Kai Jeremiah Foundation, Life for Bree Foundation, Mark Ned James Runway to Hope, and Books and Blankets Charity. These commitments show.
Now that's interesting because I know those charities don't want a bar of soap. Well, some of those charities, and I won't name which one, doesn't want anything to do with them. And the fact is, one of those charities I talked to couldn't believe that he'd actually put that in a recent article. So it's back in there. So I don't know what's going on there, but that was quite exciting last time when we looked at that sponsored article and that photo of me, that he had actually had that article removed. So maybe they took it off and then they scrutinized it and then they put it back. And maybe, I don't know what's going on, but keep an eye on it. We'll keep you up to date. But Stephen Davis, the fire chief, who used to be a hero, is now scamming people out of their retirement funds or their, what do they call it, their pension funds. That's the word I'm looking for. Goliath Ventures Inc. has now collapsed. That's right. We said that when they stopped payouts. No Ponzi scheme or scam that we know of have ever crawled their way out of closing. Once they close the funds, it's all an exit strategy, and that's what that article is all about. Andrew Tate, that was a really interesting article. I really enjoyed doing that one. That was talking about how Andrew Tate does what they call leverage trading. So we had photos of Christopher on the same boat as, so if you come here, you will see pictures. So this is Tomo, Christopher, and Michael, all from Goliath Ventures, on 3 cruise ships in Croatia with Andrew Tate. Tomo has now gone out on his Instagram basically claiming he's one of the teachers and the trainers for the men that pay the membership to be part of the Brotherhood. And if you don't know what the Brotherhood is all about, it's the people who think they're above the law club. And if you don't know anything about Andrew Tate, you want to read this article, but so they've got this website called The War Room, and in the War Room, there's all these gentlemen that are part of this association with their faces blurred out because they are all above the law. And Christopher is now on a luxury, see these men? So all these men here, all their faces blurred out. It's not me. This is real, live. And we went through the video that we had, and we found this ridiculous video, which has got 1.2 million people looked at it in the first day. And then this is September the 27th. And here's the 3 cruise ships, and they've got all these guys. We might have to turn that sound down. So we've got these 3 guys, and if you come down to, I've done this a few times, I think it's number 13, number 17 maybe, and there's Christopher.
People to finally find
a
brotherhood.
Oh, that's noisy, isn't it? I thought I turned that down. Let's have a look. There we go. So in there somewhere, you'll see Christopher and Tomo and there's, what do they call that thing? He's the policeman. So you can sort of see the network or the brotherhood that these guys are associated with. So remember, we've got photos of Kash Patel. I've forgotten his name now. Eric Trump, the Speaker of the House, all these people he's smoozing with. And then here he is on 3 yachts about 6-7 weeks ago, or the 27th of September, with Andrew Tate. So is it criminal cartel networks they're hanging out with? Is it government officials? Are they all the same? Anyway, the 21st blog is this very blog, and I just wanted you to know that I don't believe that you're going to get paid on the 15th or the 18th. I hope you do. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want people to miss out. But get your principal back. Stop worrying about your dividends. Get your principal out. Find something else to do with your money. Right, so how do I do my investigations? Well, we don't hack into computers like some people think we do. We rely on publicly available records, archive web pages, corporate filings, domain name data, social media activity, and open blockchain transactions. But there's not much transactions going on here with Goliath Ventures. So no private data hacking, unlawful access methods we use. We call it OSINT. Open source intelligence, and that's how we fight these scammers. If you don't know anything about me, I am back on Wikipedia. It's like a yo-yo at the moment. My Wikipedia page is going up and down. There's scammers out there trying to get me offline, which is a bit sad, but it's true, just because they don't like me. I've even set up a page on my website which lets people see all the different smear campaigns that people have created about me. It's a full-time job fighting. Every day I wake up, I have to fight these scammers back. These are YouTube channels set up to defame me, and here's blogs and websites set up to as smear campaigns to come after me. And now they're using these smear campaign websites to reference content in my Wikipedia page. Anyway, I can't control it because if you know anything about Wikipedia, it's not my game having a go after this. But I do have my haters, and if you don't get flack, it means you're not over the target. Check out my YouTube channel, check out my podcast. You can book me if you need to talk to me. That helps support the channel. I've been featured in Bloomberg, News, News.com Australia, Opal India, The Press, The Guardian Australia, ABC News, The D-Me. They called me, actually, maybe it was Channel 9 News. Yep, it says Channel 9 News in Australia is one of the leading scam busters in Australasia, and other newspapers and the like. Hey, look, I hope you've enjoyed that. Sorry I had to do this one twice, but I really wanted to pin this one home before they had the dinner, before people realised that they've been scammed. If you've been scammed and you need help, reach out to me, easy to find, deheck.com. My email, all my contact details, I'm wide open, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I'm here to help the investors. I'm here to stop people like Christopher and his merry men. Ho, ho, ho. Have a lovely Christmas if I don't see you before. I'll be working through because I need to, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Jelly Smack, for the donation. And I didn't see there was a person in there trying to offer me stuff I don't want, so let's just ban them for life. That's good, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.